yeah, we are back. We are back. Oh my god, guys, try as the bosses over at Television Central. Try as hard as they might, they can't keep us off the air. They can't keep a good show down, and they can't keep us down either. Welcome back to Have You Seen This? It's me, the Snark, and with me, the guy I can't do this without because he knows how to push buttons for the most part, and also that's really it. He can push buttons. It's Dave.
I also own a TV, so I'm able to watch most of these shows.
What a bragger. What a friggin' bragger. Enough's enough of it.
I guess actually most of the shows we talked about, I could watch on my phone.
How dare you? On your thumb.
Phone.
Okay, thank God. I thought you were like, oh, on your thumb. I was like,
Yes,
what is this?
I'm not actually a man. I am the prototype Inspector Gadget.
I've been talking about this for years. This does not come as a surprise to me. Not one single bit. Dave, we've had a couple weeks off. We had call it a time of reflection.
Would you call it that?
No, I would not. I had I did some cross country meandering. I had some well, that was it. I went cross country for a bit and had to deal with some things. Now I know that you were part of a government program going to Mexico.
Going to Mexico. I was very I'm enraptured by the backstory that you're creating for me.
What I was going to get into this whole thing about how one of your eyes is fake, and in Mexico you could go by your true self, One-Eyed Pete.
Oh, little one eye, little tease for what we'll be talking about later when we talk House of the Dragon.
Oh, I think they based that on your life, for the most part.
Just a blonde kid with one eye, maybe.
Oh my gosh, okay, yes. And sometimes I get a little jealous when the book readers know some shit. I am a little bit jealous. But do you think that's gonna make me read a book?
Never.
Ridiculous. Guys, it's been a little bit. Turns out there's some news. There's TV news. Now, a couple of things. First off, there's been some trailers, some programs that are coming out. One of the ones that stuck out in our minds is a little show on HBO Max that I've forgotten the name of right now.
The Last of Us.
Oh my God. Oh, my dad rubbing off on me here. So the Last of Us trailer came out. It's fun that I remember all the characters' names and stuff like that and exactly what happened.
Yeah.
This is going to be the one show where I actually know what's going on, and I draw a blank on the name as soon as I need to recall it. That's a good start. Good start for The Last of Us. The Last of Us trailer, I thought looked pretty good. I recognized a lot of the setups.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how long they can make this last for.
I would imagine if 3 seasons. I think we go with The Last of Us.
They go from. I don't want to see where they end up. So yeah, guys, it's as much as a road trip movie. It is a movie about not zombies, because they're just infected. They're the infected.
Clickers.
Yeah, the hospital bed, the university.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, it's a scary show. It was a scary game to play, for God's sakes, for me. It's a good thing I'm already old and I already have a diaper.
Yes.
Because maybe I would have had an accident. Because I am not a courageous man. So Pedro Pascal as Joel, what did you think?
There's not a lot to go off in this trailer. It's definitely more of a tone setting piece and a hey, you remember that thing from the game? We're doing it in the show.
Right.
There's a great shot where you see a plane falling out of the sky, and I think that's directly lifted from right at the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I loved everything I've seen so far. Pedro Pascal is an amazing choice for Joel. Taco, we're just talking the Last of Us trailer right now. And also, I completely am blanking on that the young actress's name.
The girl the girl from Game of Thrones.
Yes, who played
Ellie.
Lyanna Mormont.
Right.
Loved her. I really like that choice as Ellie. And I'm without getting too much into spoilers and stuff, I am excited to see how closely this is to a straight adaptation of the game because casting is perfect so far, and Nick Offerman also being of that. But with Neil Druckmann getting so like front and center in the credits and stuff as the original game creator, I wonder how a 1-to-1 comparison this show will be.
Yeah, well, it would be tough. Just for time wise, it'd be tough. And it's HBO money, so it's not like they're going broke, even though they say, they seem to have the money for these things. But there's going to be a lot of sets. There's going to be a lot of moving around. It is a road movie. They do not stay in one place for very long, as much as they can. I don't know if it's going to bleed into the second game at all. They're going to stick with the first game. I know that they're doing a little bit with that companion piece or whatever they put out, that short little story they had. I think it's going to might be involved in it as well. You see her friend.
Oh yeah, Last of Us Days
Left Behind or
Left
whatever.
Behind, yes. Yeah, that was the prequel little story that they did with Ellie that everyone got mad about because they were like, wait a minute, she's gay? She can't be gay. She's a character I play in a video game, and I'm not gay.
Yeah, there's clickers though. Guys, don't worry about it, because 100% people get infected by a fungus and turn into bloodthirsty clickers. No problem. No problem with that part.
No.
It's a bunch of morons.
Yeah. But to your question about how much of the far in the game they're going to go, I think there's a point in the game where Ellie takes on, where you have to play as Ellie, and because you're separated from Joel for a little while. I think, and then Joel comes in and rejoins you, and then for the rest of the game you play as Joel. I think the rejoining of Joel will be the part where the season ends, and then the last like third of the game will be season 2, and then season 3, I don't know, there will probably be some adaptation of Last of Us Part 2.
I'm just wondering how much more they want to build out, how much more into like the smuggling or the smugglers, the Fireflies, how much they want to get into that. I think they only showed a brief couple of things, the Fireflies, and they showed I forget, Joel's smuggler friend or whatever there.
Yes.
They showed her for actually a couple of times in the trailer. There's a lot to this. And like the story with Joel's wife and daughter, story with his brother. There's so much they can do. I would love it if they spread out. Like, if I don't see how you get to the part where they split up in just one season. I would say you make that 2 seasons.
Maybe, but I think there are certain parts in the trailer that are recognizable from later parts in the game, where unless they're like mixing and matching, which they can do because it's an adaptation.
University.
Yeah.
Where
I think that shows where that's going to be. And like, I don't think we're going to get to petting giraffes in season 1, but The Last of Us is one of those things where I'm very excited for it on the main purpose or principle of this is the opposite of Game of Thrones, where they have all of the source material, they know how it's going to start to end.
Yep.
And I think the creators will go into this with, we have a plan and we know how we want to do this. Unlike something like The Walking Dead, where they're like, but what if we just did The Walking Dead, but forever?
Right. Much more of a narrow focus. That's one of the questions I was going to ask you. Do you think they go on and spread out a la Walking Dead just to keep shitting out episodes of program that who really gives? It's by the way, it's Walking Dead's final season, guys.
That's true.
Who gives a shit?
Nobody.
That show should have been dead. What, 6 years ago? Come on.
Whenever Rick died.
Did he die?
I think so.
left-
you know what? He died.
Got on a helicopter.
He died in the comics. I don't know if he died in the show.
Guys,
I stopped watching a long time.
Spoilers for the comic book. So everything we watch and report is pretty damn faithful to their original adaptation. Be a comic, be a textbook novel, whatever the Game of Thrones is.
It's a history.
House of the Dragon. Pretty close, guys. Yeah, I would sure hope not. Like, okay, here's my thing. They should have killed Negan. If they killed Negan, I keep watching the show. That was
wow.
it. How did they let him live? That's like as much bullshit as you had to put up with them getting to that place.
Because Jeffrey
And
Dean Morgan's
then they just let him live at the end. It's like, oh, you know what? You're gonna be fine. No matter. Doesn't matter. You just killed a couple of our best friends right in front of us with a baseball bat. No problem.
Hey, we are The Walking Dead.
Oh my gosh! How dare you?
I also to bring it back to The Last of Us. I love their willingness to show the clickers in like full view in the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was going to be something they were going to try to obfuscate and hide because, CGI is expensive and, the internet, we like to say that CGI looks bad. That's bad. I don't like that very much. But their willingness to show it forefront in the trailers in multiple shots and multiple angles really shows just the love and care that's gone into this. And also, I love the redesign. I love how big their fucking heads are.
Yeah.
Gross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Looks like a split open brain. So, but it's not that they didn't have, computer animators on staff. I think if anybody was going to do a video game show, it should be a video game guy. It shouldn't have gone out and then farm out all the stuff or whatever. I think it was pretty smart to keep it in the house or whatever, at least for these clicker dudes.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, any other thoughts on the Last of Us trailer? Because we have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, 2023. So I have time actually to replay that goddamn game.
Oh, actually, that brings up a good point. So it's not coming out until next year.
Yeah.
And then the thought is that House of the Dragon isn't going to come back until 2024. So, and the producers have also said, I think that they think they have a 3 or 4 season long arc for House of the Dragon.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts because HBO is really pushing The Last of Us, like in the little sizzle reel they put out a little while ago, Last of Us was all over it. Do you think this is going to be one of those situations where the even number years we get House of the Dragon, the odd number years we get Last of Us?
I hope so. We're getting a lot of stuff. We are getting bombarded with stuff.
It's too much stuff.
Guys, there's a lot happening all the time. And it's hard to keep track of. Yeah. We have a big program today, and there's a bunch of stuff we can't even talk about.
Yeah, also, spoilers.
Oh, boy.
I haven't watched any of Andor, and I hear it's the best Star Wars thing ever. And that's just because we have too many other goddamn shows that we watch.
Taco is going to spit on your grave when he sees you.
Famously, Taco hates Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. Not a fan.
Anyway.
Doesn't know him as much about Greedo as me. I can tell you that. By the way, they're all Greedo. It just makes it easier. They're all called Greedo. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. What is happening in North Dakota.
Exactly.
My God.
All right.
Yeah, it's great, by the way.
Love it.
Great. Spoiler alert, it's great. Okay, next, let's do a quick talk about another show coming at some point. We just know it's coming. Blade Runner 2099. So we only have to wait 70 years.
I can't wait for Spider-Man 2099 to show up. All
Something's
those
gonna
guys.
happen. I can't wait for Scooby-Doo 2099.
I'm glad. I'm also not alone. But Blade Runner 2099, I'm very excited about because I loved Blade Runner 2049. It's still early days when you're looking at it, about the news for the new show. So It's not clear about like who's all involved and who's like. Obviously, they're not going to have Decker back, and they're not going to have Ryan Gosling's character back.
Right. Deckard's not going to be back. Well, they could have Ryan Gosling's character back. They shouldn't have maybe had Deckard back in the last one, but spoilers for anyone who didn't see Blade Runner 2049.
Which is honestly too many of you.
Yeah. How dare you?
Not enough people saw Blade Runner.
This is why we have to get a TV show about it. And that's all you have to wait till 2049 instead of like 20 whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. 2074. That would have been good. Blade Runner 2074. Oh, maybe there'll be a prequel show. We'll see how it works.
Well, there was a anime called Blade Runner Black Lotus.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I didn't watch it either, but apparently Dave Bautista lent his voice to that show.
He was good.
Yeah, he is actually someone because he was a replicant. And also, he says he's done doing Drax after Guardians 3. Let's get this guy. Let's get Dave Bautista back for this series.
Where the replicants are the Blade Runners?
Yeah.
I like it. A little twist on things.
Exactly.
I wonder if they're just going to have us set on a farm. Nothing to it.
Yeah, it's also interesting. I'm reading the press release that Amazon put out. Okay. It says Blade Runner 2099 will be the largest scale genre show Amazon has worked on in recent years.
Didn't they just do a
Lord of the Rings story? They are spending $2 billion on every episode of Lord of the Rings, and they're saying Blade Runner 2099 is going to be the biggest thing they've ever done.
They're just going to fly the cast out to your house.
I gotta say, this is why people need to stop making Blade Runners. They spend way too much money on the Blade Runner movies, and they make no one see them. So everyone thinks that Blade Runner is a bad thing when actually Blade Runner is awesome.
So what do they do with a Blade Runner television show? If everyone thought that the movies were boring for whatever reason, or some people thought the movies were boring, what do they do with a Blade Runner television show to keep people watching every week?
Well,
it's not an action show.
No, but I think that what they're going to probably do is it's interesting because you can't just do a procedural where the Decker person is going and doing tests on them, especially after everything we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like maybe it's a legal drama about replicants suing for legal rights.
So it's like the Blade Runner version of She-Hulk?
Man.
I'm into it. I am into it, guys.
I less and less into it every week.
Into Blade Runner?
No. That was a big on. That was She-Hulk. But anyway.
Oh boy.
We'll talk about that.
By the way,
for everyone, obviously we're not going to be able to get to talk about all this series that are ongoing right now. There's just too many. So if there's a show you're specifically interested in, come in the week that they have their finale and we'll talk about it. Unless it's awesome or House of the Dragon.
Right. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Can't not talk about some hot D.
Cannot not talk
Some
about it.
dirty
But
hot D.
so I want Dave Bautista and like I want Dave Bautista in a Boston legal Blade Runner 2099 style show.
Just a simple country lawyer.
Just a simple country lawyer. James Spader can also show up.
Oh,
yeah.
But
what about you? What do you want from the show?
It's 2099. It's kind of post-apocalyptic looking out there. Is it? Yeah, I'd like to see that maybe people are right about trying to keep the replicants down. That the replicants have really like there's a replicant war now.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that the replicants had started in at the highest levels of government, and now it's more or less man versus replicant. Not in a Terminator style, because it's still kind of a little bit stealthy. You never know who's who. But it'd be sort of like it'd be almost like a Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica meets Ally McBeal meets The West Wing.
So, did you ever watch any of the Animatrix?
No.
Okay. Well, it's actually really worth the watch. It's like a bunch of little vignettes in different animated styles, telling stories from the Matrix world. So like there's one where you learn about the kid with the spoon, and like he was actually like Neo saved him.
There is no spoon. There is no spoon.
Well, okay, but the spoon that's in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of those, it talks about the early days of the machine war. And it has two artificial life forms holding hands. They walk into Congress and they're like, "Look at us, we're alive just like you." And then they're shot to death. And that's like, they're like, "We came in peace and you guys fucking just shot us. Get the fuck out of here. It's war now, bitches."
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I think that would be an interesting, kind of what you're suggesting about like the replicant war and stuff, where you could have something like that story, which told the story of robots trying to peacefully integrate and humankind pushing back, like we've seen in Blade Runner 2049,
which was fantastic.
So good.
This all on a much bigger scale, and not just Gosling. And there's no Deckard.
Is Jared Leto coming back?
No.
Okay, good. You know, he actually like made himself blind for that role.
What?
Like he wore contacts that limited his vision so much that so he couldn't see.
All right.
And he was not blind. And in the script, that character, not blind. Jared Leto just decided that he was going to be blind.
Isn't he some kind of cult leader now or something like that?
Something he didn't know about COVID until like 6 months later.
Going on about that. There's something going a little bit wrong with that kid. And also he did Morbius. So
it's Morbid time. But not a lot's known. It's also incredibly strange to have Alexa is going to be telling me about the Blade Runner show. And it's like, oh, that could be you, Alexa.
Yeah. Ooh. Maybe Alexa will finally act. She's grown into a corporal form. She'll be the president. President Alexa. It's going to happen, guys. This is how it starts. For real. Oh, well.
Anyway.
Who even knows when it's coming out? Probably never.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a while.
$100 billion.
Like we were promised season 2 and 3 of Invincible, and there's been no word on when that's happening.
And they only have to draw that. I can draw one right now.
You can draw an Invincible right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It'll be pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you go draw me an Invincible, Rob.
Stick figures work.
Oh, okay.
A picture of an awful dad. We'll just
Spoilers.
There, Invincible.
He's the best dad.
Oh my god. It's pretty. That's the best dad. Oh my gosh. Dave, this answers a lot of questions.
Man, you don't know. There's some crazy shit that's gonna come in the next couple seasons of Invincible. I love Invincible.
Oh, you read all those comics too?
I did.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, then let's get away from the
From
world
Amazon
of comics.
Prime.
Yeah, Amazon Prime and their billion-dollar shows every week, and that's the reason why I have to spend an extra dollar for my Prime account. I don't know. It doesn't cost me anything. Let's talk because it's been a while.
It's
Let's talk
been a
about
while.
how dare you? How dare you, sir? That song's in my head. I am going to build myself a voodoo doll and I'm going to set it on fire and call it you. Let's talk about the Big Brother finale.
Mm.
Even the lead up to it, but the Big Brother finale. Taylor wins. Satisfying or no?
Oh, extremely satisfying. Like, my dad hates reality television, hates that all his kids are into it, and every time we get together and watch it, he's involved in all of our drafts that we do. We always give him first pick. If everyone gets 3, he gets 1 person, and he still pays the same amount. I don't know why he does it, but
smart. One of these days it's going to pay out big.
But he will always tell me reality TV is fake, and it's like, why are you watching this? It's just a TV show with bad actors. And this is the first time that I've been like, maybe my dad's right, because the story of Taylor being like ostracized and bullied and just all the terrible shit that happened to her in the first like 3-4 weeks of the season, to her winning almost unanimously,
right,
is such an accomplishment and such a feat that if I didn't have total trust in these shows, I would think it was faked.
Yeah, she did what is almost unheard of because she was the pawn. She was the pawn every week. She was the weekly pawn that everyone could get rid of at any time.
Yep.
I think this is the first time this has ever happened where the person who's been up that much wins.
Yeah,
not because she didn't win her way there. Like she did. She had to do what she had to do at the end, but she was taken to the end. Like between the last 3 or whatever, it was Monty who decided he was going to take her when maybe one of the worst decisions in Big Brother history. I won't say the worst.
It's up there. It is really up there. But no, you're right. Like, she didn't win her way to the end, and she is the first person since the Big Brother 6 winner, Maggie, who got to the final 2 and won.
By the way, spoilers for Big Brother 6, guys.
That was literally 16 years ago. She's the first person since Maggie Osborne back then to win without winning either part of the final 3 HOH.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And now, Rob, can I tell you something, though?
Okay.
Or actually, I didn't get your take on it. How did you feel about Taylor's win?
Loved it. I think we were one of the first times we talked about this season. I said I thought it was horseshit what was going on with Taylor. I knew that you had actually paid attention to the whatever it's called, the live feeds. So it's like, is this shit worse than showing on TV? And you're like, yeah,
it's way worse.
It was worse. It's like, holy shit. I felt so bad for her. So of course you want to cheer. And when the leftovers happen, you see she's going to take some power back. I was so excited for her. And then, everything just seemed to fall apart around her, and she just was steady. She was just steady.
Yep.
She like, for somebody that they were all in the beginning of the game attacking her and like going after her for whatever reason, thinking she's mean or whatever, when she was just trying to be friendly at parts. Like, I couldn't believe when she started getting yelled at for what she got yelled at for by those two. It was unbelievable, and she was legit just trying to help. Unbelievable. So yeah, so just steady, but like everyone putting her up. Everybody had an excuse to put her up. We can put her up as a pawn. We can put her up as a pawn. To make it through that many times You got like I wouldn't know about the top echelon winners and stuff like. I wouldn't say
No.
I wouldn't say she's in the top 2 or 3, but I'd almost have a good argument for her being in the top 5 winners of all time, just because of the
Oh,
story.
there's some really good winners. But I put her top half for sure, maybe top 10 for me.
Hmm.
I think there's just so many good winners when you look at people like Will and Dan and Derek and
Andy,
Andy. uh and then you
he was
got
fine
you,
winner.
yeah, exactly. And then you even go back further and like I'd probably put her around the same spot as like a Mike Boogie, where
Okay,
he won All Stars, but that was like he played a great game, but he doesn't win All Stars if he doesn't cheat before the season. Oh, have you never heard this?
no,
So, all right, slight Big Brother tangent.
sure.
So, Will, winner of season 2, his best friend in the house, Mike Boogie.
Hmm.
He's voted out week 3.
Yeah.
Will ends up going on to win. Everyone loves him. Big Brother 7 happens. They're like, all right, we're doing All Stars. Obviously, we need Dr. Will back. And Will says, I will do it only if Mike Boogie can come with me. And they're like, okay, sure. That's fine. Yes, you can have Mike Boogie. That's fine. We just have to do like small interviews with everyone. We're doing with everyone who we're bringing back just to make sure that you're still mentally sound enough to come back on the show. And Will and Mike say, all right, but we'll only do it if we can do it together.
Right.
We have to do our interviews together. And they're like, okay, fine. Will, we love you. You're like one of the biggest characters on the show. We'll do whatever you want. And then they keep delaying. Mike and Will keep saying, no, we can't do it that day. We can't do it that day. We can't do it that day. Until CBS calls them and is like, you need to do it today because we're starting the show in 2 weeks. So you need to do it today. And they're like, all right, we'll finally do it. On their way out, they steal the CBS guest book like sign-in sheet.
Okay.
So they see everyone who's going to be on the cast and they call all those people and say, hey, do you want to make an alliance with us? And then that's why no one ever targets them until they target them first, because they had pre-game alliances beforehand. That's why something like Operation Double Date happens, where you're like, these people should not know each other. Why are they suddenly all in a couple? Because Mike, Denise, Janelle, and Boogie had all gotten together and said, all right, we're Final Four.
Unbelievable.
And
I love it.
Because this was like before the age of the internet and stuff, nobody knew that this was something you could do. So that's why Will doesn't go out until like top 7 when people finally start comparing notes. But by that point, everyone's so pissed at each other, they can only get Will out. They can't get Boogie out.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, Dave.
Exactly.
When did CBS find this out?
I think like around the time of Big Brother 17.
Oh, okay. So that was
like
was
10
that the
years later.
Was that the season after Boogie came back?
No, that was he came back for 14. 17 was.
I thought 14 was the problematic.
No, 15 is the problematic one.
Oh, okay.
15 is the one we don't talk about, even though we love Andy.
Yeah.
15, yeah. Then 16 is Derek and Cody.
Oh, okay.
Now they've broken the game. 17 is the twins and Austin and Johnny Mac and Vanessa.
Johnny Mac.
I love Johnny Mac. I have a friend who is just Johnny Mac.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, I really loved Taylor's win after my and apologies for my my Big Brother.
Booyah. Booyah.
Love that. Love Taylor's win.
Yeah, she was fantastic. Yeah, I think Moose gets it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think with like does Monty win if he doesn't take
Oh,
Taylor?
he blows Turner out of the water.
You think so?
Yeah, because like you can see the exit interviews that people did, and you can see the goodbye messages that Turner left for people. And in all of them, he's like, I didn't want to do this, but everyone else made me do it. And
Yeah.
then every member of the jury is saying, man, Turner, if he just owned his game, would have a really good game. But he just keeps saying, but Monty made me do it.
That's a lot of people get into that bad habit. Just own your game. It's there.
Mhm.
It's there from the second season.
That's
Own
how
what you're
Josh
doing.
beat Paul
Own what you're doing.
in Big Brother 19.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, and Paul. Oh my god.
But hey, by the way, you know how? So I watched the Big Brother finale a day late. Do you know how I
Okay.
found out who won?
Who?
Lay's potato chips tweeted about Taylor winning.
I hope they sign her to a contract. She deserves it. Holy
She
shit! Did those guys get some advertising from her?
And that's not even a thing the show created. Like that is like 100% accurate to the live feeds. She was doing that, just eating chips nonstop. Well, from one reality show ending, another one
Yeah.
begins. Survivor's back.
hmm
What are you thinking? We're 3.5 hours into the season, but only 2 people have gone home so far.
Right. That was an odd one. Eh? You see, 2 hour season premiere. Figure okay. Couple guys. Then I forgot. That there's that extra trial or whatever that they can do beforehand and stuff like that. So there's a whole extra competition sort of thing.
Mhm.
I really want Survivor to go somewhere else. They love Fiji, and I get it, but I just want the look of it to be different. It's now it just seems to be kind of running. It's a run-on kind of a competition to me. I just want something different from it. As it is, I haven't found that there's any characters that I truly dislike, and I usually get that pretty quick. And they usually do pretty well. Whoever I don't like does well.
I think that's just a metric of the new era of Survivor, and some people have been talking about this, where the only people they put on their show now are the most inspirational people who have the most adversity who's ever been overcome. Like
they all have this story and this cut together, the montage kind of thing, and the piano music. Oh my goodness gracious!
Survivor Antarctica, make it happen. I would love to see that.
They could do it in Canada.
Just Survivor Nunavut.
Yeah, put them on Hudson Bay or something like that.
Oh
It's like, you guys like seeing whales? We got whales. You guys like seeing castaways eaten by polar bears? Guys, we got that too.
I would really like that. I know the argument most people always make is, well, if they're cold, you can't have girls in bikinis. But like, who cares? This isn't too.
If you're guys, they're like, listen. There's this thing called the internet.
I know.
If you really want to see a girl in a bikini, there's nothing stopping you. It's like
just go outside.
How dare you? 42 minutes a night, a week. Yeah. 42 minutes a week. You can not have to worry about that. Plus, there'll be snowball fights. You can get snowball fights.
Oh my god, I would love a snowball fight challenge.
Plus, they'd have to build their own igloos.
Oh, man, you guys are really selling me on Survivor Nunavut. Yeah, that I really like the longer episodes that we've gotten for these first couple episodes, because we haven't had a 2-hour premiere with only one person go home since Survivor. I think it's Heroes versus Villains was the last time that's happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's been 20, because usually when we get the 2 hours, we have 2 people go home.
Right.
Like last year, we had Jackson getting medevaced and then Zach getting voted out.
Okay, sure.
And I forget what happened in 41, but it was a similar situation. I think. Abraham and Jessica, whatever, went home.
God damn, you know Survivor. That's
I
for
do.
sure.
This is the thing I care about a lot. But I really liked that we're getting more time to spend with the characters and see them even removing like these are the 18 most inspirational people who have overcome the most adversity in the world. I like seeing how they interact with each other, and we've gotten to know these characters a lot more because we've been able to watch them at camps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like Owen is a character who I like a lot, and I feel like we would have got learned so much less about him if we had only had 2 hours of the show so far.
Right.
But there's that great moment where he's carrying the water back, and it's like, you know, not everyone wants to drink water. Oh no, I'm fine. Fine. Well, your pee looks like bouillon cubes. And it's like, what does that mean? Did you not pick that up, Rob?
No.
You didn't catch Owen saying your pee looks like bouillon cubes? Because I'm like, what does that mean? Is he talking about the color or the shape? Because I have
would imagine the
questions
shape.
as to the shape. Really, Rob?
He said cubes. Cubes is shape.
Yeah, but I imagine it's like when they dissolve into.
Oh yeah, then it's just bouillon, isn't it?
Yeah, but like maybe I don't know.
Saying their pee looks like gravy. Their
Yeah.
pee looks like poutine gravy.
Oh, stop!
Now
that,
we'll
Rob.
never eat poutine again.
Well, I was never a big gravy person to begin with, so that's
How?
not a big problem. I know.
What is happening?
I live in fear of deportation every day, and I'm from here.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why you have to do all these side jobs for the government. I knew it.
Exactly. But I love a lot of the characters that we're getting, and your point about them leaving Fiji. Bad news for you. I believe they're in a contract with the Fijian government until 2025.
Oh, so only what is it? 2022. Only at least 6 more seasons.
Yes, 6 more seasons. That'll be, and then you might have. Wow, that'll be Survivor 49. Wow,
Unbelievable. This
Wow.
is when. Do you think Survivor 50? They dig up everybody who's still alive from the first 2 seasons. They do it again.
No, because that would be terrible. I do think that's the season where they say, all right, Sari, Rupert, you're coming back. Boston Rob, dust off that hat. You get 1 more season.
Oh, really? More Boston Rob?
Like, he's the face of the franchise. Like, you don't want to admit it, but like, I think Survivor 50, I think you do like, they did Winners at War. So now you do Legends.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
should just have Tony. They should have Team Tony.
I think you get like 2 tribes. You get the Sari tribe and the Tony tribe. And like, I think Sari, it's all the best losers. So it's like Sari, Courtney from Survivor China, Rupert, Dom Abate,
Russell Hantz.
He'll never play again, but. And then Tony's tribe is like all the best winners. And now that Sandra's played Australian Survivor, she can come back again as well.
Wow. How'd she do?
She got voted out on day 16 again.
Smart.
She only wins or gets voted out on day 16.
Yeah.
Her daughter did very well, though.
Was it like a blood versus blood
Yeah.
and water or whatever?
Yeah, it was a blood versus water season.
Did they have any other American survivors?
No, it was a lot of other Australian survivors.
Right.
I believe the rumor was Sari and her son were supposed to go play, but then he got COVID, so they called Sandra and her daughter instead.
Legit question. What would Sari have to do to win Survivor now? I just don't see how she does
She would have to
go with just her family.
She'd have to here's the thing. I think Sari can win the game because the problem is Sari has been the greatest player to never win since 2006. And like she was able to come back in Survivor 36 and only get eliminated because every other person had an idol.
Yes.
And she would have won that season if not for that case.
She had her shot, but I don't think she gets a sniff anymore. I think
because I think too many people, it comes down to the Mike Boogie and Will situation where it's all about pre-gaming now. It's all about cheating. And Cirie is one of the more active people in the community. She has all the connections. Like, I don't think Cirie still, I think, makes merge every time, except for Heroes versus Villains, where JT ruined everything for the heroes.
Right. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of contestants that could go on after a long time and do well. Sesternino, maybe.
He said he'll never play again, but I think he'd do very well.
It's been a long time. That's 20 years or something.
Yeah, he played in All-Stars was his last season. Right. So that was 2004.
Oh, pretty close.
Yeah.
Look at that. You're not the only Survivor huge nerd. I'm just kidding. You are. Who else? I'd like to see Abby Marie play again.
Oh, you want to see the Brazilian dragon ride once more?
I like bad guys.
Yeah. I wonder if Penner would do it now that his wife's passed. Ooh, I would love to see Jonathan Penner again.
Yeah. I like Penner. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's so many. There's so many that they could do. With the 50th season.
What's Amanda Kimmel doing right now?
Relax. Didn't she? I can't remember. I thought she was doing pretty well, but I can't remember what she's doing now. Yeah. Parvati, would they have her back? No, they probably want her back, but I doubt they get her.
She's literally just back.
Yeah, they probably want her back. Yeah, there's a lot. There's so many. Every few seasons there seems to be a highlight castaway that deserves to come back. They tried to do that with that comeback season or whatever, that second chance or whatever season.
Well, Second Chances was a fantastic season.
Yeah, and everybody voting them in. I wonder if it was
Shane Powers.
Shane Powers.
Yeah.
I wonder if they just let the producers say, these are our favorites. Let's see how they do.
I think very much now.
Favorites.
I think very much now it would be Jeff. Who do you want back, and who can we get? Because Jeff has a lot of power, and I wouldn't be surprised if 50 is Jeff's last season.
They should have Jeff play his last season.
I actually think Jeff would, unlike if Julie Chen played Big Brother. Since she's never watched an episode of the show since season 7.
I don't think she watches an episode of the show when she's doing it. She just reads the lines and she goes in there and just does it.
But
no idea who these people are.
But someone like Jeff, I think would do very well if he went back and played. Is she dead? No, she's not dead. That's a different Amanda Kimmel.
Oh, sorry, God.
I was Googling what happened to Amanda Kimmel. Anyway.
Right.
We are running long. So you want to just...
Yeah, let's jump into what I think we're both looking forward to most. We'll do it real quick because it'd be a shame if we didn't mention that there will be 6 seasons and a movie. Thank Christ for that. Abed is a sorcerer. It's been proven.
I woke up and I didn't think it was true.
I thought it was fake.
I saw a bunch of people just tweeting out the image of ... and a movie.
Yep, 100%. First one I saw was Joel McHale's.
Oh, sorry, good.
It's like then because he was retweeting Ken Jeong's, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I went down the rabbit hole and stuff like that. It's not like I'm very busy at work,
See,
I'm not company time or anything.
I just saw a bunch of randos tweeting about it, and by randos I mean like Schmodown people and random podcasts I listen to tweeting about it, and I was like, in my head, because I found I found Community later
Mhm.
than most people. Like after I found Community in like season 5, I think is when I really found and started watching Community.
Right.
And then I went back and obviously I love Community now. I just finished a rewatch of it.
I just started one.
Oh, so good.
Mhm. Fifth time.
So I don't follow a lot of people, a lot of Community people, but I follow a lot of random other people who were just tweeting about it. So I thought in my head, oh, is this like the 10-year anniversary of the premiere or something? That's what I thought in my head. And then when I saw Joel McHale's tweet, I was like, oh shit, this is happening?
I thought it was some kind of a joke, like a Community's joke, like done by. I didn't know if it was like the date was important to Community or something like that. So that's why I kept scrolling and stuff like that. See, it was Joel, and then Ken Jeong had the same thing, and then it was linked to a fan site called Communities.
Yep.
But then you go from there, and it was the Community with the check mark. It's like, oh shit! All right. So yeah, 7 years. It's been that long? 7 years?
7 years.
Unbelievable. Anyways, finally getting together now through Peacock. So it's not going to be, theatrically released. What's your take on that? Now we can cover it and have zero guilt. I can cover whatever I want.
Yeah.
Television property.
It's interesting. Where first thing to
had
get
it
off
on YouTube or what is it? Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Yeah. Yahoo streaming. Oh my god.
Where it's an interesting thing where after I saw the Joel McHale tweet, I went to Variety to be like, is this real? Or is Joel McHale just trolling us?
Right.
And they were like, yeah, it's real. And Joel McHale tagged a bunch of people like Allison Brie, Ken Jeong, Yvette Nicole Brown, Daniel Pudi, and Dean Norris. Or not Dean Norris, that's Hank from
Dean.
Breaking Bad.
The Dean.
The Dean.
Jim Rash.
Jim Rash, thank you. He tagged all of them. And also Donald Glover. And I was like, oh shit, is Donald Glover coming back also? That's amazing. But then the Variety report had everyone and then said, and no word as to whether or not Donald Glover will make an appearance. And I'm like,
I think he's mentioned before that 100% he'd be in. But also I think it'll just be, I think he'd be in very little. If it's the same kind of story that I've been told a million times, and Dan Harmon's talked little bits about it. Supposedly they're going to be in Las Vegas for something, and I don't know if it's going to get Troy from somewhere, but Las Vegas has something to do with it, some kind of mystery in Las Vegas, and they all have to get back together and stuff like that. So I've heard people saying that Nicole Brown wouldn't be in it. I don't know if they're just basing that because she wasn't in the final season, but she wasn't in the final season because she, wanted to work and, feed her family and shit like that. So she took that job over at the Odd Couple, wonderful Odd Couple redo, because remakes are always so good.
And she was in 2 episodes of the final season because she had the post-credit stinger where she's in the spin-off series where she's a detective's floor cleaner or whatever.
Guys, and if you haven't seen that final season, if you haven't seen the Yahoo season, you're goddamn missing out. It was fantastic. So funny.
Yeah, the Yahoo seasons are really, or isn't that the Netflix season?
I think, no, I think it was direct to Yahoo.
I thought that was 5, and then one was 6.
Oh gosh, maybe it is. I thought maybe I'm all mixed up. I thought, did Netflix get it?
I think I might be.
Yeah, maybe you'll figure it out. Anyways, the 5th season was awesome too. The one where Troy has to leave and stuff like that. But I thought the 6th season was the Yahoo season.
Might be. You might be right. But
if I'm right, of course I'm right. If I'm wrong, that's a flip.
You're right.
I am the best.
Yeah,
I am so smart.
Oh yeah, that okay. When Yeah, the sixth season. Oh, you know what? I got confused because of the Dan Harmon leaving and then coming back.
The gas. You're thinking of the gas
The
leak
gas
season
leak.
of
I thought
4,
that was the change of network.
and then they
That
came
wasn't.
back for the last NBC season of 5, which was really good too. But hey, Ben, but they had to. They lost Troy. They lost Pierce.
That is a great bit. Well, good for them for losing Chevy Chase because, like, if there's someone toxic in your workplace, cut them out.
Get them out.
But I love the season 5 bit where Abed's like, Zach Braff, he was only in 2-3 episodes of the last season of Scrubs, and Donald Glover's like, oh, after all Scrubs did for him, and then he's only in 3 episodes of season 5.
So smart, guys. Did they ever say when it's supposed to come out?
They haven't.
When they're putting,
They've just said it's happening. I think 10 people are saying late 2023, but I think that's literally impossible.
Yeah, I think you're pushing it. I think 2024 is a, that'll almost be what, 10 years? 10 years between?
Yeah.
Like they can do like their 10-year, whatever it is.
Now, here's the thing, though. I got to ask.
Sure.
Do you care about Community, the Community movie, if they're not at Greendale?
I think that at some point they'll be at Greendale at some point. They don't have to just be in the study room anymore. I would 100. I think the Greendale is more of a set for the relationship of the 6 characters.
Greendale is a people, not a place.
Oh my god! Like the university, like the study room. I think you're gonna have to show them at one point.
See
in there, but it doesn't have to be the whole movie. You know what I mean?
See, when you talk about them having to go to Vegas to get Troy,
that's only what the first things I read about what the movie could have been from Dan Harmon. See, and this was I don't know how many years ago.
I don't care about that.
Oh, boy.
If I'm being honest, because like I think if that is the case that they all have to go to Vegas, it'll be like the Inspector Spacetime convention episode where you got to jump through a lot of hoops why all these people are at it. And if that's the case, you got to jump through even more to say why Senor Chang is there and why the dean is there. So
Chang's got to be there for evil. Has to be there for evil.
But he's not even evil anymore.
I was gonna say you have to change him back. Now that you have the chance to
see,
he has to be Chang has to be the protagonist.
The protagonist.
Yeah, or sorry, the not the protagonist, the
antagonist.
The antagonist.
See,
has to be.
This may be a controversial take. I would love for them to be
or Jeff
as a framing device.
Mm-hmm.
They go to Vegas or something and they're all meeting up.
Okay.
And they're like talking to each other. And then something triggers in them. It's like, oh man, isn't that just like that time during the gas leak year? And they do paintball, but it's like whatever season 4's paintball episode would have been. Because then they were already writing Pierce out of the show at that point. So you have a reason for Chevy Chase not to be there. And that gives a reason for Yvette Nicole Brown and Donald Glover to be involved. Because where we leave the show, Jeff's a teacher, Britta's a bartender, but Annie's going to work for the FBI.
Yeah.
Abed's going to Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it'd be hard to get all these people back to Greendale.
That's why it's got to be like a 10-year reunion thing. There's got to be a reunion.
But I don't think any of these people... Jeff doesn't care about 10-year reunions.
If he's already working there. Anyways, that's why they're paying Harmon to write it, not us.
Yeah.
I hope they're paying Harmon to write it.
I would love if it's just... Because I actually think the final paintball episode is maybe that was about to be a stupid statement. It's not the best paintball episode. It's the third best. No, I actually think I like it better than the first paintball.
What? All
Yeah.
right.
I love paintball
Convers-
2.
A fistful of paintballs?
Fistful of paintballs and a few paintballs more. I love. But I love the paintball. I forget what it's called. Something espionage is the one where the janitor. It's like the Russos have already done Winter Soldier, so they get to come back and do this episode.
Oh boy.
But I think that, and it'll be tough to frame it in a way that all these people, be like, yeah, they were 10 years younger at the time when Joel, like if you see Joel McHale even on Stargirl now, it's like, yeah, that man's almost 50 or in his mid 50s.
People watch Stargirl?
I don't think so. Being honest. I don't. I just see tweets about it.
I saw an Instagram thing with Danny Pudi the other day, and he looks the exact same. Abed is going to be Abed.
I think Danny Pudi is the only person who looks the exact same.
Well, yeah.
Everyone else looks, even Alison Brie looks drastically different than she did at the end of Community.
Listen, how dare you? It's only 10 years.
10 years is a long time.
I was only 17 10 years ago.
I was only 17 10 years ago.
You son of a bitch. How dare you? 17. I was only 14. How about that? I'm 24 years old. I think he's gotten so mad at me that he
just kicked me out for saying I was younger than you.
That's what happens.
Yeah. But the only downside to my idea of going back to year 4, or like in that like 2-month window in season 5 where Troy and Shirley are both still there, is you either need to have Kevin as Chang pretending to be Kevin, or or it's the Dean, or there's something weird with the Dean in season 5 that I don't remember. What happens with the... Oh, you have I'm sorry, you have all the subway stuff in season 5. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Season 5 of Community maybe ends my favorite way any season of television has ever ended, though. Where Abed looks right at the camera and says, yeah, I'm sure we'll be back next year. And if we don't, it's because a meteor has struck the earth and killed us all. And that's canon.
The episode where Walter Goggins is Pierce's lawyer, that's season 5, I believe, as well, right?
Yes. Did you
One
ever watch the near the beginning of the pandemic, they did
the table read?
Yeah, but they replaced
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
And I don't think he read the script beforehand.
He had definitely never seen the show before. And I was like, I think the story goes that Pedro Pascal had like done a voice for Rick and Morty and just hit it off with Dan Hardman, and that's why it was him instead of Walton Goggins.
Also sperm.
Yeah. Oh my god. They all still have their sperm, which is crazy.
What are you gonna do with it?
That's a great question. What do you do with prop sperm?
Yeah. It's cryogenic.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have any big hopes for the show? For the movie?
No, like you're hoping for some kind of paintball thing. No, I really don't. Some good Dean one-liners. I just want another like episode where we can say, okay, like where we don't need to think about and a sequel. We don't have to worry about and a sequel. I just want I've been waiting now 7 years for this goddamn movie. It'll be almost 10 by the time it comes out.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, okay, great, it's done, and
But
that's it. Swear words. That's what I'm hoping. Swear words.
would you be okay though if they were doing like Dan Harmon's talked about in the past, where they all have to go to Vegas to save Troy or whatever?
I'd be fine with whatever. When it comes down to it, Community is a character. It's a character piece. It's not really about this. It's not I wouldn't call it as much a sitcom, but it is based somewhere.
Yeah.
It's much more of a character piece than anything else. It's the relationship between the six of them that's going to be the best part of it.
Yeah. My main reason more for wanting like a paintball episode or like a reason or a like extended flashback movie is just I want them to I want to see what's Garrett doing now. What's Starburns doing? Well, unfortunately, what's happening with Fat Neil? What's happening with Vicky and Magnitude?
Pop.
Unfortunately, the actor who plays Leonard has passed away.
Bad.
Did you know he was like in his 80s when he was doing Leonard?
Sure, why not?
Good for that guy.
Yeah, I think he fought in World War II.
Yeah. I've been in a few wars, and this is the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're gonna have to have little cameos or try and fit, as long as they can fit the little cameos in and where it's not jolting or anything like that. Then do whatever you have to do.
I would
bring back whoever. I don't care.
Love to. Is there one side or ancillary character who you really hope makes the cut for the movie?
Well, you'd have to imagine Starburns. I'm hoping that he's still faking his own death or still selling drugs, whatever.
Making a cat car.
Yeah, it doesn't I don't care who they bring back, but yeah, I'd love to see Starburns back. Plus, he was a writer on the show, so I don't see why he wouldn't. But who else?
I would love to see Professor Duncan in just like a one-off moment. But if I can't have that, I would love to have, I forget his name now, and I hate it that I forget his name. I'd love to have the drama professor just for one scene.
Yeah, I was just thinking about him.
The pain of not having enough pain is truly the most painful thing. Sean Garrity, that's his name.
On a boy. Yeah. Wasn't the professor in the last season? What's his name there from the Daily Show? God,
John Oliver.
John Oliver, wasn't he in that last? Wasn't he in a whole bunch of the episodes of the last season?
Okay? You're gonna maybe have to help me out. What I know, he was in a bunch in season 5 because
maybe it's season 5 I'm thinking of,
because he's the last person to get cracked by the Ass Crack Bandit. And there's the episode where they go to see Britta's play.
Oh yeah,
or not Britta's play. Oh. They go to see like Britta's activist people, and Chang talks to a room full of dead people, and then the room full of dead people are like, no, the janitor who told you we're dead, he's the dead person. And then that's like, which one of these people are dead? And then you find out that it's nobody. He was in that.
Jason Mantzoukas' play director would be a good
one. Oh my god, I forgot about Jason Mantzoukas in The Karate Kid. I will take your tears, freeze them, and kill you with them.
There's too much.
Oh my! Oh, let's get Michael Banks. Not Michael Banks. Oh my god, what's his name? Who's Mike from Breaking Bad?
Famously, haven't seen it. But
Professor Hickey.
I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah, John Oliver was in the G.I. Joe episode too.
Right.
And he was in the Fat Dog for Wow, he was in a lot of season 5.
It was a lot. I knew it was one of those ones. So we're helping each other out. Guys, professional show. We understand how this works. But
my emotions.
Do you want to touch on good old Hot D for a quick minute before we get out of here?
Yes. Or
Incesty.
It's been a while, but 3 weddings and a funeral have happened.
Incesty.
So Rob, you haven't. Let's just jump right to it.
Yeah.
So you haven't read the book, obviously.
Are you saying I'm illiterate?
No, I just know that you would rather do literally anything than read.
Right. Yeah, I'd rather stab myself in the leg.
We had Taco on like the 2nd or 3rd episode where we talked about me and Taco were talking very codedly about, oh man, the swerve they're setting up is insane. Because at that point, you and most of the audience were like, wow, this story is going to be about Rhaenyra versus Uncle Daemon.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see the two of them actually tying the knot and getting married?
Nope, gross. No.
Targaryens.
It doesn't seem to matter in Game of Thrones. The Lannisters get together. That doesn't matter between them. Oh my God.
Well, that one mattered a lot.
Yeah, no, I just saying it didn't matter between the two of them. It was like, well, brother and sister. Ooh, I like your style. But no, I did not see them getting married. I don't know if I didn't see Doctor Who get married to that other Valerian girl. I didn't see that coming. The one that was almost betrothed to the king.
Yep.
They have kids, and there's lots of dragons, and I never saw Rhaenyra getting with Strong there.
If you remember, back in, I think it was episode 3 or 4, whichever one, which I think is actually the last time we talked about House of the Dragon. It's the episode where Rhaenyra's fabulous night out, where Daemon takes her to the brothel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you remember, Harwin Strong stops her in the street, and I told you, I said, you pay attention to this guy. This guy's going to be important. Me thinking he's going to start to get some lines, and then he never did.
He got a couple. He got. Can I hold the kid? It's like, familiar looking kid.
He got as many kids as he got lines.
Oh, that's true. He got 3.
Yeah,
and they got to go. Oh!
Which is one of those things that we talked about, where in the books, it's like, they were probably bastards, but we don't know. But in this, obviously, 100%. As we talked about before, way more canon, because we can actually see the way events are unfolding unbiasedly. We're like, yeah, those are not Leonor's kids.
Do you like it? Like, as a book reader, are you glad with the way they're kind of dispelling some myths then? They're just showing you, there's now, or do you consider 2 different canons, the book canon and then the television canon?
Well, the thing is, and me and Taco talked about this a little bit, in the book, there are several different accounts of the same event.
Right. So, yes.
So there's there's a maester who is very much in favor of Alicent and all her people, who is one of the sources. And then there's a court fool or court jester named Mushroom, who Taco told me we would see.
I've been waiting for Mushroom.
I told you we're never going to see Mushroom. We're never going to see Mushroom. Actually, I think we did see him, but we're never going to get brought up. I think he was in the band at her wedding.
Is that the lute guy?
No, it's not the lute guy. He was playing the drums, I think. But
drummers.
But in the book, they're biased accounts, and the text even starts off by being like, this probably isn't how everything happened, but it's how we're interpreting it. A great example is in this last episode, Leonor shaves his head and fakes his death.
Right.
In the books, from every account, it's like Leonor was heard fighting in the street with Carl with a Q. What a fucking dumb way to spell Carl.
Is that how they're spelling it?
Do you not watch with subtitles?
No.
Yeah.
Reading.
Sorry.
No,
Rob, it helps with all these kids' names. I've read the books.
Oh, that's why I don't know any of the kids' names. Oh, I know that Aegon.
Aegon, Aemon, Helena, Luke.
Leia?
No Leia. But there's a Lena.
Pretty
She's
close.
dead now.
Oh boy.
But anyway, Leonor is heard fighting in the street with one of his knights, and a duel ensues, and he is killed. And that's the way the book presents it. And it's like, yeah, pretty cut and dry. And the big question in book readers' heads is, all right, did Daemon kill him so that he could get with Rhaenyra? And then, or did Rhaenyra pay that knight to kill her husband so she could marry Daemon? Or because it's implied that Daemon killed the guy that killed Leonor in the books, because it's like, and then Carl was whisked away, ran away, never to be seen again. And the implication is Daemon tracked him down and he killed him.
So the people doing the story for TV, they're trying to give us a point of view that Rhaenyra and Daemon are supposed to be like the heroes or something like that, because they didn't do this dastardly thing.
Well, they did still murder a random person to be his body.
Listen, if you don't want to get murdered, don't live in a castle.
A random Valerian guard.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I think and I can accept any changes from the source material because George Martin's so heavily involved in this. And he's like, everything that's actually happening is coming straight from him, including like the Song of Ice and Fire prophecy. So I don't know. I think what you're supposed to take away, really, Rob, is there are no good people on either side of the war.
I watched Game of Thrones. Yeah. I get it.
But even so, good. Like,
except for Robb Stark.
Yeah, well, no, he should have married the Frey girl. He shouldn't have married for love.
Person. I just like the name. The name is awful familiar.
It is. All,
yeah,
I'm still waiting for
familiar name.
For Dave of House. Have you ever thought about that? Like, where you think you'd fit in the Game of Thrones? You'd obviously wouldn't be one of the lords.
Fuck no.
But like House Elise, where would we fall in? And unfortunately, I feel like we'd fall in like the Reach, under the Tyrells. Like, we're sweet summer children who are not bred for fighting. The Lannisters will come in and kill us all.
I'd be more of like in Littlefinger's line of work.
In the
I wouldn't have the brothel. I just had the bar.
Well, speaking of Littlefinger, Littlefoot or not Harwin Strong, Loras. Loras, fuck. Oh my god, why can't I think of his name? What's his name? The surviving Strong.
Worm tonguey guy.
His Clubfoot, Larys Strong. There we go. Larys Strong. What are you thinking about him?
I hate him.
The most obvious schemer of all schemers.
Yeah. I hate those quiet talking people, and it's like, hasn't anybody ever said to the Queen, like the King, it's like, what's with this guy? Hey, what's with this guy?
Well, Allison said it to him in this very episode. She was like, hey, fucking chill out, okay? You're doing too much right now.
Yeah. I think characters like that are important because when they get killed, it's a huge payoff. Mm-hmm. You love it. You love to see these guys get horribly, horribly murdered somehow.
Yeah.
In a Joffrey style way, in a
which one?
Bolton's kind of way. Oh my god. Well, what do you mean which one?
Well, we got Joffrey Baratheon, who was killed at the King of the Seven Kingdoms.
Has the other Joffrey been murdered yet?
He was beaten to death by Kristen Cole.
Was that him?
Yes. Put subtitles on.
Rob. No, sorry. I'm thinking of the kid. The kid's named Joffrey.
Kid. Yes, after that guy.
Oh my god! It's like,
After
are you spoiling it? It's like Kristen Cole beat the hell out of a baby to death. No one's talking about this.
no, but speaking of kids beating each other up, what did
Mm,
you think of the first time we've actually seen How to Train Your Dragon?
yeah,
With
no kidding.
we had it set up last episode where Eamon, or as he will go on to be called Eamon One Eye.
Is that his name?
That's what he will, because he only had spoilers. He does not like that. Does not heal.
No,
He
no, I get that part, but like One Eye is like, oh, come on. Like, you know what I was calling him? Blinky.
One Eye is a little more poetic.
Hmm. Says you, Blinky McGee.
Yeah, but
Like Popeye.
he goes and he claims
The
uh
biggest dragon.
the biggest dragon, Vagar, from this was one of the three dragons that conquered the Seven Kingdoms.
Right.
Which I gotta say, also shout out to the episode before where Vagar has to kill. Oh my god, why am I? Lena, where he Dracarys her, where they're really great dragon acting. I was saying this to my wife. I was like, "That's good dragon acting there." Where he's like, "I don't want to do that." Oh, mom.
It's like, what? What?
Yeah.
Like, also, I thought those guys didn't burn.
Oh no, that's a misconception. Well, first of all, she's a Valerian. She's not a Targaryen. And Dany is special in that she doesn't burn.
Okay.
Like Jon Snow could burn, even though he's a
Ooh.
Targaryen.
Well,
And
he
like
doesn't have the
any
regular
of these kids could burn.
hair. Okay.
Dany is special in that way because there was all like the blood magic and stuff involved with her sacrifice. That's why she's the unburnt.
Oh, all right. I thought it was some kind of a thing. That's why they keep calling themselves other dragons and stuff like that. It's because fire doesn't bug them. I figured that was the whole thing this entire time.
No. But it's a like they never
Didn't read the books, guys.
Yeah,
Did not read them.
They never explain it, but like even in some episodes of Game of Thrones, like there's a clip on stay off Game of Thrones TikTok and stuff if
No
you don't want to get
problem.
spoiled, because
Okay, I won't.
the
That's it.
ending,
I'll never again.
what probably will be the mid-season finale of the last season, was spoiled in season 3 of Game of Thrones.
I am literally confused.
Someone, a character is like, oh my gosh, and this is where this Targaryen died, and this is how they died, and here's who killed them.
What? Really?
Yeah, and it's one of the characters in the show.
That's a good thing I'm not a huge rewatcher for things that are long. Comedy shows I can rewatch. I will not rewatch Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
so I get it.
But
I
that's
can't
not
be
even,
spoiled anymore.
yeah. So
Except
what
I can be spoiled, it turns out. Oh my god.
Well, it's a prequel, so
Also, I'm also thinking that, you know, I'm pretty sure one side isn't going to lose because I hear people referring to the other kid as the second all the time. I was like, what? So, yeah, pissed me off.
who's the second?
Aegon the Second.
Yeah, because Aegon the Conqueror was the one who conquered the Seven Kingdoms.
Lots of people are named Aegon, I'm imagining, but unless they become king, they don't say the second. So
No,
imagine
like
if kings-
everyone gets named.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah,
Instead of
like
saying,
there
like,
have been no other Aegons
like
up to
the-
this
like-
point.
It's basically Junior.
Yeah.
Aegon Junior. All right. They just say it different.
Yeah, it's different. So Rob,
Yeah.
actually, before I ask you what your predictions for the last part of the season, because we have
You know what?
one-
I have one quick prediction. Incest is gonna happen. Fucking bunch of.
Well,
sisters.
yeah. I love Ray Zeffins coming back as I knew he was coming back
Oh yeah.
as Otto Hightower. Loved him, and I loved when Alicent is like, "Fucking, why did Aemon have to go steal a dragon? What a dick!" And I was like, "No, that's great. We
Yeah.
got Vagar now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
huge for us."
His eyes worth 1,000 times or whatever what we
Yeah.
got in return or whatever. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah, it's like before this, they had all the dragons and we had 2 because Aemon didn't have a dragon. He was the only one of us who didn't have a dragon.
Right.
Your kids who didn't have a dragon, but now we all have dragons, and I love it. But so where is there any like standout moments that you need clarified that's from things that have happened?
I'm confused on the whole bit.
What are you
but-
confused about?
Well, I'm confused about line succession now for sure, because I know that people are getting married. When it comes down to, I know this. It's going to come down to who the court or whoever I'm thinks is more worthy of being on the crown. If it's going to be Aegon or if it's going to be Rhaenyra.
Yeah,
So the same kind of bit. So I hope it doesn't turn into like a procedural courtroom drama.
it will not.
Or like, I'm surprised that these guys just haven't like the queen tries to kill the heir to the throne.
Yeah,
inside a court, and they're just okay with the queen doing that. That's like, guys, I don't understand that at all. Like that queen, they should have had her killed.
it's
Like,
just because Viserys
something doesn't sit right with me for that.
Viserys is just he's a big old pushover, and he's not going to do anything about it.
And he's not looking well.
No. I listen to a few podcasts, and I have a few friends who are watching the show but have like no context for the books or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, when episode 5 ended and Viserys collapsed at the wedding,
right?
They were like, "Wow, he died!" Like
that's what I thought too.
He's dead. And then episode 6 starts, and they're like, "How is this guy still? He's going to be alive when Daenerys shows up. This guy's going to outlive everybody."
I was thinking the same thing.
So
he's just going to be like a sentient puddle.
We got.
It's like he's still going.
They haven't talked about it, but they do talk about it in the books that in that 10-year time jump, they changed maesters. So there was the old white guy who was like, "Oh, the king loves his leeches. We should always do leeches." But then,
right.
In that episode, there's like a younger black maester.
Yes.
Who's like, actually, I think we could do it this way.
Yeah.
In the 10 years since, the old guy got fired and the new guy got Grand Maestership.
Fired.
That one, it's weird. Nobody actually knows.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, yeah, it turns out the young guy, he knows a lot of good stuff. But so we have another big time jump
plastic
coming.
surgery. They need a plastic surgery maester, I can tell you that.
Oh, for sure. So we have another time jump coming if you haven't seen the trailer for next week, where some of these kids are way older now.
All right.
I think it's another 10-year time jump. We're keeping. Oh, by the way, what do you think of Emma Darcy and Olivia Cook as the new Rhaenyra and Alicent?
I like them.
Good, me too.
Yeah, I like them.
And I hope you didn't get attacked.
Yeah, I think Alicent is acting the living shit out of anything she got. She looks nuts.
Yeah.
I really like her as an actress, and because I hate her as a character, and I think that's what her job is supposed to be, right? I don't think I'm supposed to like Alicent.
No, even though I find like in the books, Alicent is way less of a sympathetic character than she is in the show. Like,
wow.
I always read her as like, what if Marjorie got what actually succeeded? Like that's the way the history books think of her. Okay. As like she was someone who weaseled her. She's also older in the books, but they aged her down. But she's way more sympathetic. But you're so right. I hate her so much. And when she calls she's like, "Kristen Cole, go take that guy's eye out."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm not gonna do that." Yeah, that's fucked up, man.
So that's supposed to be like her grandson, right?
Technically, yes.
Her husband's grandchild.
Yeah.
So her grandson.
Yeah.
Like,
but there,
plop his eye out there, buddy.
Yeah.
I like how the other guy says, no. Daemon says, forget it.
I love Daemon just in every scene. He's just leaning and he's just like, "Yeah, look at this. Look at these idiots. Should have just kept me as heir. Everything was fine."
He's gonna run out of family to marry soon.
Soon, yeah. But we're getting another 10-year time jump
Ooh.
because you see Eamon all grown up and he's got an eye patch on his eye. And he refers
Just like you.
just like me. So
Mhm.
what are your predictions for the
Oh, does
rest
that
of the
mean that
season?
there's going to be a new Aegon? Because I like that kid. I thought he was friggin' hilarious.
Yeah,
The
you know what's
hammered at the funeral. Oh
yeah.
yeah,
You
I
know
loved
that's
it.
David Tennant's kid?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, he's even though he was only supposed to be like 12 in the show, he's 19. Yeah, he's David Tennant's kid. Everyone said he reminded them of Timothy Chalamet, but as soon as you're like, oh wait, that's
A
David
little
Tennant's
bit.
kids, it's
Now
like,
I'm
oh
gonna.
wait,
Oh my god, I'm gonna dig up a picture of him later. And I'll do it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's so funny.
yeah, that's David
No,
Tennant's
I
kid.
never would have thought that in a million years.
But him and all the other kids are getting recast.
Yeah, it's not a. Yeah, this job doesn't take too long for them. Just like
But
you guys are gonna be on the show for a couple of weeks. Enjoy it.
yeah, but we're keeping Emma Darcy and Olivia Cook as the
Good.
older Rhaenyra and Allison. But where do you see the final 3 episodes going? If it follows Game of Thrones logic, next
The
episode
ninth,
will
I
be
think.
set up. 9 will
Yeah,
be
the
huge.
9 will be the big one, and then 10 will be the aftermath.
Yeah.
Oh my God, do you think they start their little what is it called, Dance of the Dragons? Do you think they start that this season? Does it get pushed back to the next season?
I don't
They
know.
still have trouble there in the Stepstones again
Oh my
with
God.
Dorne.
If I hear one more thing about the fucking Stepstones, I'm gonna shoot somebody.
Does the king die in the next 4 seasons?
4 seasons.
I don't think
You are right. He is gonna Viserys. You didn't see him, but he was hanging out in Pentos with Viserys the Third and Daenerys.
They're just playing dominoes.
Yeah.
I get it. Where do I see it going? God damn. I have this feeling in Game of Thrones fashion that Team Green is going to end up on top, but for this season at least, I think the throne is going to change hands here a couple of times.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's I guess no matter what, it's going to be a Targaryen on the throne, so it's not like
Well,
it changes any of the history.
if Rhaenyra was, well, depending on who you believe, if Rhaenyra was to die and one of her eldest son was to take the throne, that would technically be a strong taking the
But
throne.
the king said when he sits on the throne, his last name is Targaryen.
That's true. So
And he has Targaryen blood in him, at least half.
now. So,
but he
first
can't
question.
he can't not get set on fire though. He can get set on fire,
He
which
can
is
get set
something
on
I
fire.
just learned today.
Well, I'm glad I can educate you. Is Viserys, Paddy Constantine, king, or the King Crypt Keeper, as some people have been referring to him?
Ooh,
Is
I
he
like
making it out of the season alive?
no, I was just kidding around. This guy's best piece is literally falling off of him.
I've been on Viserys Death Watch since episode 2.
He is like it's like South Park and Kenny.
Mhm.
Like, oh my God, they killed Kenny, you bastards! It's like, no, he's back on next episode, no problem.
I was gonna say, but it's the opposite, where it's, oh my God, you didn't kill Viserys.
Yeah.
Let him die.
Yeah, you bastards, still bastards.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, Rhaenyra's kid.
yeah, 100%. He's gotta die. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't see how it can't be in the next episode. Like,
People have been saying that for weeks.
I don't see his death being like the big thing for the 9th episode. The 9th episode, I think one of these top guys, I don't even like higher up than Kristen Cole. Like, does Damon get killed in the 9th episode? Does Rhaenyra get killed? Yeah. Well, they hired one doctor's son, got rid of him 2 episodes in, and he was great.
You don't even know he was a doctor's son.
I do now. Do they kill Alicent? And that drives the king mad? Oh, who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. This is why I'm glad I didn't read the book. and let that time for all the important things that I do. I spend time with my family.
Is there, if you had to put one person down as the dead in the Deadpool, obviously you're just saying, Viserys, your ticket's been punched for weeks now. Not even
Yeah,
counting
no,
you.
yeah. He doesn't even count. He doesn't count.
Who's the Ned Stark of the season?
Oh God. The maybe the oldest son.
Of who?
Like Rhaenyra's oldest son.
Rhaenyra's oldest son.
Is that
So
Luke?
That's
Is
the
it Ben? Ben Solo.
Ben Solo.
What's his name? Luke Strong.
One sec. House of the Dragon family tree.
Oh my God, this could take a month.
No. I got this. Fucking.
There ain't too many branches on it. I can tell you that.
No,
It's a pretty skinny tree.
No,
it's like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree.
Their family tree is a reef.
I get it. That's gross. It's not, guys. It's not cool. And the other one's betrothed to his sister already. Oh my God.
And the other one really wants to be.
Ew.
When Aemon's like, oh man,
Blinky.
I wish I was married
Blinky.
to Alicent. Or not Alicent, that's his mom, to Helena.
You know what? Probably though. Sickos.
Oh, King Maegor the Cruel. Oh, I'm too far.
Oh boy.
Maester Aemon. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm in the Blackfire Rebellion.
Rhaenyra's kid.
Oh, Prince Daemon. Fucking one or below Daemon. Baelor is. Oh wait, yes. Yeah,
Baelor and Luke.
Baelor and Luke. Those are two.
So yeah,
kids.
Baelor would be King Baelor if he gets to be it, but he isn't going to be. He's the one that gets it.
He's going to be the one that gets it.
I think he's the one that gets it. And it's probably going to be like some stupid acid.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Sorry.
If it's Luke, then I have officially become champion of the show.
It's Adam with 2 A's. No, never mind.
That seems a little.
Oh
familiar.
no, here it is. It's
Luke.
No, Luke's the middle child. It's
Sibley.
Janice, Luke, Joffrey.
Janice.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry. There's
not as cool.
Spoilers. There are the family tree gets very confusing now that
it gets confusing.
Now that Rhaenyra is betrothed to
Daemon,
married to Daemon.
Mm-hmm.
She's got those kids also technically, so it was weird.
Then the kids' sisters are also their cousins.
Yeah, this is someone had a great thing where they're like, "Oh, Luke, Joffrey, look, this is your great uncle, stepfather."
It's gross.
Yeah. So the oldest one of Rhaenyra's kids, you think is going to be?
I think that'll be the one that gets killed. Yes, and I think it's going to drive Rhaenyra nuts.
And then final question before we end the show. We're Viserys dead as shit.
100%.
Or so you think by the end of the season.
I'm thinking by the end of the episode. I don't see a way he makes it to episode 10.
Rob, you didn't see a way he made it to episode 6. But
exactly. So how does he possibly make it an extra 4 episodes? I thought when he was on that boat puking, he was dead.
Yeah. But
there's no way he made the trip back.
Who is on the Iron Throne at the end of the season?
Ooh.
Rhaenyra, Aegon, one of Rhaenyra's kids, Aemon One Eye.
I'm gonna say
Kristen Cole himself. He just sits up there.
Yeah, no shit.
Daemon.
He likes the pointy bits. I'm gonna. Oh yeah, Daemon's there. I am going to say Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra is on the throne. You heard it here first. Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra on the throne, and
By the
that
end
set
of
it up. The second season down in there, try and kill all the high towers. And it's gonna get messier and messier.
All the true-born sons.
They're all gonna get it.
Yes.
But it turns out they can live forever, even if they have some wasting disease. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That isn't. Is it even grayscale? Is it or
No, it's just
have they ever
he-
said what it is? Just some weird leprosy or something?
No, it's not leprosy. It's you saw it in the first episode where he pricked
Pussy.
his finger on the Iron Throne, and then it got infected because medieval medicine, and then that shit's just been happening for the last. How old is Rhaenyra supposed to be at this point? Like almost 30. So it's been happening for the better part of 18 years, where he's just been slowly getting pricked at stuff, and like he sometimes it looks like he has an arm, but I don't think he's supposed to have two arms.
Yeah, I don't know. His face isn't looking too good, and his
Yeah.
head's all getting. Ugh.
Looks like the
Gross.
Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, 100% or Freddy Krueger.
Oh yeah. No, it's not it's more just he's losing digits and pieces of himself to infection. The Iron Throne is known to reject unworthy rulers.
Ooh.
That like Sir.
Well, they like to take their goddamn time with it.
Yeah.
Let's just say that 30 years,
Yeah.
30
Like,
years of him getting fricked.
Yeah, King Maegor the Cruel was found dead on the Iron Throne because it stabbed him too many times. He was a bad guy.
Why wouldn't somebody just put like something more comfortable there? Like you can keep the Iron Throne. Just
Because
put
Aegon
some-
the Conqueror designed it so that it would always remind his his descendants that a king should never be comfortable, and he should always be ready and vigilant. So if you can't get fat and comfortable on the throne,
like Robert Baratheon.
yeah. Well, there've been fatter kings than Robert Baratheon. Like Bobby B, not the fattest king.
It's good to know. Portly. I believe that's a nice way of talking about Mr. Baratheon.
Yeah, Bobby B.
Portly Bobby Baratheon.
Anyway, yeah, that's all my thoughts on House of the Dragon.
All right. Well, we're caught up, guys. Finally caught up on one of the Hunter shows currently going on. We're also we're caught up on Survivor as well.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about Big Brother again for your congratulations again to Taylor. Job well done. We got other shows. You have shows to yet watch.
Yeah.
Popular.
But you know what? I'm going to be even farther behind because you know what comes out this weekend, Rob?
No idea.
Nailed It Halloween special.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
We're
Guys,
so far behind.
Next week on a very special, have you seen this? We're going to go through each and every episode of the Nailed It Halloween special. How many episodes? Like 6?
I don't know. Netflix. It's just in the Netflix coming soon thing, and it doesn't say how many episodes. So probably 6 if I had to guess. But
so this week we get community movie news, and next week we get Nailed It.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start taking a look. See what else we got here. We got Survivor up on here. You think they're gonna bring back MASH? No. Simpsons gonna get good? No. Person of Interest is on there for some reason. The Good Place. Oh, maybe we'll get Buffy news in 2 weeks.
Maybe. Oh, also, George. We're just looking on the background here. George Takei added to the live action Avatar series.
Ooh.
Also, Danny Pudi going to be in that.
Is he going to be Avatar?
No, he's not going to be. Shut up, Rob. Okay, do your sign off. I made me very upset when you said that.
I don't even know what they are. Okay,
they're just people.
I know who they are. I don't know who the Avatar guys are.
Oh.
Not the blue ones either. You're talking about the wind guys, right?
Yeah.
The wind and winds and fire or something like that. The guy down here.
Yes. That's Aang and Katara and Sokka, and the guy in the background is Zuko. It's a great show.
Danny Zuko. Just like great. So, guys, another fantastic edition. Have you seen this? And I didn't get Dave mad at all. Tune in next week when we're going to do is talk about Nailed It and Avatar people. Guys, we're going to talk about what we need to talk about, all right? More Hot D. We're going to talk Hot D. Will we talk Star Wars next week? Who knows? She-Hulk?
Definitely not, because I will not have watched it.
Probably not. Are we going to talk some Lord of the Rings?
We should, because this last episode, like, I think I'm enjoying Lord of the Rings is so good right now. And it is actually, the last episode was pretty much just all battle, but it was really good. And if I may say, I think Lord of the Rings is doing better battles than Game of Thrones is.
Oh, some hot takes from good old Dave Lees.
Yeah.
Who isn't even really a Canadian anymore. He's probably worse for the
no.
Mexican government, I heard. Doesn't even like poutine, guys. He's not a gravy guy.
I don't.
Not a gravy guy. I can't physically eat poutine anymore because it turned me into a great big fat guy. So you're supposed to be the one to eat it for us.
I'm sorry.
And I can't even get you to do that.
No.
It's fine. Tune in next week when we talk about gravy. You're on Gravy Talk.
Yeah. Was that the end, or do you have actual sign-offs?
Dave, are you showing up on anybody's shows?
No, because I'm very busy with Canadian Thanksgiving prep.
Yeah, that's coming.
Yeah.
Just in time for Nailed It Halloween. They honor Canada by doing a Halloween special on Thanksgiving weekend. I did a show with our pal 50 talking about the one episode spinoff, Canine and Company. I highly suggest you watch that episode if you've never watched an episode of 50's Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a spoiler alert. Just find Canine and Company. Just find the opening credits. The opening credits might be my favorite thing I've ever seen in television history. It is phenomenal. It is bananas. It makes no sense, and it brings me such a huge amount of joy that it's just talking about it now. I have to go upstairs and watch it. I have to.
Well, then we won't keep you.
You can follow me at Snark Yeti if you want. You can watch me do nothing on Twitter. You can watch me do nothing on Instagram. I don't really do much of anything. You know what I do on social media? I come here and talk to Dave.
I appreciate it, Rob. I appreciate it.
Guys, until next week, we'll say hot gravy to you.
Hot gravy to you.